Well, hello and welcome back. Well, as drone is becoming more and more popular, it seems the rules and regulation around using them and traveling with them are becoming more and more confusing. So in this video, I'm going to explain the drone laws in UAE, what you need to know before flying or bring the drone into the country. And this really applies to both residents and tourists. And unfortunately, failure to comply with UAE drone laws will result in quite a significant penalties, and not having the right paperwork with you when you're traveling into the country will get your drone seized by the customs. And this is actually what happened to me, and probably one of the reasons for this video. The good thing is, even though the penalties are quite harsh, the rules and the process of getting the right paperwork is relatively straightforward right now, and you can get the paperwork to bring the drone in and to start flying it within literally a few days. So in this video, I will mainly focus on private users, because in UAE there are two categories for drone users. There's individual or private users who fly drones for leisure and hobby, and there is organization or commercial usage, right? So since I'm not flying commercial, I don't really know the commercial laws, but using them for personal purposes, I'm relatively familiar with the laws which apply to personal usage. So in UAE, there are two agencies which regulate the drone usage. One is called GCAA, it's General Civil Aviation Authority, and there is a second authority called DCAA, which is a Dubai Civil Aviation Authority, which provides additional rules and regulation for Emirate of Dubai only. So GCAA provides for all the Emirates, and then there are additional rules for Dubai. So let's start with the documents required to bring your drone into the UAE. And this will apply for both tourists who want to bring the drone into the country and the residents who are traveling with the drone, for holidays and want to bring the drone back into the country without it being seized. And that's what happened in my case. So if you're traveling with your drone, to get it through customs, you need a document called Letter of Conformity, or LOC for short. And this can be obtained from UAE Ministry of Industry and Advanced Technology. And I will put the link into the description. The process of obtaining this document is relatively straightforward. You start by going to the website. If you don't have an account, you need to register. Both residents and non-residents can create an account. Once you've registered, you log into the website and you search for drone under e-services. And you will see there is a service called Product Status Statement for Drone. So you select that service and you click Start. Then you will need to fill in all the required fields. So you'll need to fill in the drone information, the serial number, the description. You will need to upload the pictures of the drone, including the serial number, and it's very well laid out, so it's quite straightforward. And also you will need to upload the drone operational manual, which you can just download from your drone provider website. Once that's done, you will need to pay a fee of AED 200, so 200 AED, which is about $65. And it states on the website that the process takes about 5 working days. In my case, where I've done it a couple of times now, the process normally takes 2 to 3 days maximum. I think the longest one was 3 days for me. Once it's complete, you will receive 3 documents. You will receive the drone LOC, which is required by the customs. So when you're entering the country, you will need to have that document with you to allow the drone into the country. You will also receive a GCAA certificate. And that certificate is a drone registration with GCAA authority and gives you the right as an individual to fly your drone. And I will talk about flying the drones later on. And also you get the third document, which is a drone label, which in theory you should attach to the drone in case if it's lost, they can find the owner, I guess, and give it back to you. So as you can see, the process is relatively simple, and it will take you, not more than half an hour to complete all the forms and submit it. Now, on to flying your drone. Once you've got the GCAA registration, that allows you to fly your drone in all Emirates except Dubai, providing you follow the rules for flying drones. And the rules are quite straightforward. So basically, you must fly your drone only in approved flying zones, and that you can get by downloading My Drone Hub application from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. And as you can see on the screen now, you can just see all the available fly zones, and it's quite self-explanatory. So providing you're flying in the allowed zones, you're good to go. You must not fly your drone above 400 feet. So the upper limit for flying drones for personal usage in UAE is 400 feet. You obviously must not fly your drones within airport areas, residential areas, or no-fly zones as shown on the My Drone Hub app. You must not fly your drone in the bad weather conditions. You must not fly your drone over people or moving vehicles, or interfere in any case with emergency services. You must not fly your drone with a camera which violates the UAE privacy laws. So since all the drones have cameras now, you have to be quite careful as to what you're actually recording or photographing, so it does not violate the privacy laws which is applicable in UAE. And the last one, which is also quite an important one, you must not equip your drone with a drop and release devices, right? So you cannot basically attach a device here to the bottom of your drone which can carry something and then release and drop it. That's quite against the law, and obviously by violating any of the rules above, you will potentially, if caught, face significant financial penalties or potentially even the jail time. Now, to fly your drone in Dubai, there's an additional process which you have to follow. You still need to have a GCAA registration, but to fly your drone in Dubai, you also need to have a DCAA registration, which is Dubai Civil Aviation Authority. And in order to get it, first you have to obtain the drone license. And to obtain the drone license, you have to pass the drone certification test, right? And there is an academy called Sanad Flight Center, and I'll also put the link in the description. I'll put all the links in the description, which requires you, right? And I have two options. You have an option of doing the training and then sitting the exam, which costs you about 945 dirhams. And then you have an option of, if you're an experienced drone pilot, you have an option to go straight for the exam. Once you've passed the exam, you submit your documents to DCAA, and they will issue you a drone pilot's license. Once you receive the drone pilot license, you can apply for drone registration with DCAA. So the process is obviously significantly longer, which is against the GCAA registration. And since you need to sit the test in country, you can only do it while you're in country. So if you're only here on holidays for a week, it's probably won't get it done in time. Now, if you're watching this video and you're in a situation where your drone was seized by the customs, right? You have 28 days, I think 28 or 30 days from the moment it was seized to get it released, right? If you don't have it released within that period of time, you lost your drone. So to get your drone released, the process is also very simple. What you need to do is you need to get online and apply for GCAA registration. So as I described before, you go through Ministry of Advanced Information and Technology, you submit the application for LOC, right, which will give you the LOC certificate, the GCAA certificate as well, right? Once you've done that, It takes a couple of days. You take the LOC with the paperwork that you received from the customs, take them both together to the airport where your drone was seized, give it to the customs officer, and they will release your drone to you. So it's not as scary as it sounds, and the process is straightforward and it works. I've done it myself. My drone was seized. I've got it registered and I've got it released, and it's sitting now right behind me. So there is no issues there. Now on to the final and probably most important point of this video. Currently, all drone flights in UAE are suspended until further notice, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a tourist, if you're a resident, whatever registration you have, you are not allowed to fly drones in UAE right now. Whatever the reason is, I don't know, but obviously that's a rule and people need to obey those rules. Failure to obey the rules, significant financial and potential prison sentences, right? However, if you are traveling with drone, right, and it doesn't matter if you're a tourist who's flying through UAE and just want, to have your drone entered into the country and then exit the country, or if you're a resident and you want to take your drone on holidays and then want to bring it back, you do need the LOC certificate. If you don't have the LOC certificate, your drone most probably will be seized by customs. For tourists, it's not as bad as for residents, because if you're a tourist and if you're exiting through the same airport within the next 30 days, you can just pick up your drone at customs and you'll be back on your way. But your drone will have to stay in customs during your time in UAE. If you're a resident, then yes, you must have the LOC, or you must exit the country within 30 days to pick up your drone. So in a nutshell, that's it. The process is simple, especially the LOC and GCAA registration. It's a one-step process, 200 dirham, and a few days later you'll have all the certificates with you. For Dubai registration, it's a bit more complex and requires a bit more work, but overall, if I can summarize everything, make sure you register your drone with Ministry of Advanced Technology, get the LOC, get the GCAA certificate so you can fly with your drone freely. And then when, in the future, when the drone operation will be resumed in UAE, hopefully soon, you'll be able to fly it in, all the Emirates except Dubai. And then if you're a resident, you can start the process of getting your registration done for Dubai. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope if your drone is stuck somewhere in customs in UAE, it will help you get it released, because I know they are expensive and it is stressful. You do feel stressed while in the process, but trust me, it works and it's easy. So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Have a great day.